Aiden, a quiet and lonely young man, walked home after leaving a bookstore. The rain had stopped, but small streams of water still flowed along the streets. He pulled his thin jacket tighter around himself, wishing he didn't have to walk alone in the dreary weather. Then he saw her at the end of the road, a girl who seemed to be in a hurry. She was drenched in the rain, clutching some files to her chest. Without thinking much of it, Aiden quickened his pace and walked past her. But when he did, he noticed that she was struggling to keep her balance. "You'll get sick if you stay like this," he said gently. The girl slowly lifted her head, and Aiden was taken aback by what he saw. Her eyes were filled with exhaustion, but there was also a faint smile on her lips. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice hoarse. "My name is Emily." Aiden felt a warmth spread through him, chasing away the loneliness that had been clinging to him like a shadow. For a moment, the only sound was the patter of raindrops hitting the pavement, creating a melody just for them. Are you sure you don't want me to walk you home?" Aiden asked, his voice echoing the concern in his heart. "No, it's all right," Emily replied with a tired smile. "I live just around here." She turned to leave, and Aiden realized he had never been this close to a girl before. It felt both new and exciting. And as he watched her walk away, he found himself wanting to know more about her, to understand the sadness that seemed to linger around her like a persistent fog. The following days were filled with a gentle rhythm. Aiden found himself drawn to the park, hoping to catch another glimpse of Emily. And as luck would have it, he spotted her sitting on a bench under the shade of a large tree. Their meetings became a regular occurrence, sometimes in a cozy cafe sipping hot chocolate, sometimes on long walks in the park where the trees whispered secrets in the wind. There was something magnetic in Emily's words, the way she spoke, the way she laughed, the way she seemed to find beauty in the smallest of things. Yet there was always a shadow within her, a fleeting sadness that crossed her face, as if a secret, a heavy one, was buried deep inside her. One day, as they strolled through the park, hand in hand, Aiden couldn't help but ask, "What's your favorite thing about the rain?" Emily paused, her fingers tightening momentarily around his before she continued walking. "I like the sound it makes," she said softly, "the way it harmonizes with the world." Her answer intrigued him, but there was a hint of melancholy in her voice that made him want to reach out and touch away the sadness that clouded her eyes. One day, while they were sitting in a cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air, Aiden found the courage to ask Emily the question that had been echoing in his heart. "Why do you carry an umbrella in the rain?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Emily's fingers tightened around her cup. She took a deep breath before setting it down, her eyes distant as if searching for the right words. "It's not just about keeping dry," she finally said, her voice laced with a hint of sadness. "It's about finding shelter from the storm within." Her words hung in the air between them, and Aiden's heart ached at the vulnerability that shone through her like the soft glow of the setting sun. In that moment, he wanted to be the one to wipe away her tears, to be the one who could stand beside her, offering not just an umbrella, but a haven where her heart could heal and her spirit could soar. As their friendship deepened, so did the mystery surrounding Emily. Her words were like fragments of a beautiful yet haunting melody, leaving Aiden both captivated and yearning for more. With each passing day, he found himself falling deeper into the labyrinth of her emotions, determined to unravel the threads of her sadness and lead her to a place where the sun could shine through the cracks in her guarded heart. Many times Aiden wanted to ask, "Emily, why is there so much sadness inside you?" But Emily would always avoid the question. "Some stories are meant to be told only at the right time," she would reply with a soft smile. Aiden thought perhaps she was recovering from a broken past, so he gave her space, believing that love itself would heal her. One evening, Emily asked Aiden to meet her near an old abandoned building. The two of them had been dating for a while now, but it was the first time he'd seen her sad. The sky was painted in shades of gold as the sun sank, setting the clouds ablaze. "Aiden," Emily began, her voice catching slightly, "tomorrow is my birthday, and tomorrow I'll finally tell you the truth about me." Aiden felt a pang of worry, but he held her gaze, his voice steady. "Whatever the truth is, Emily, I'll still be by your side." She looked into his eyes, her own glistening with unshed tears. For a moment, he saw a flicker of pain cross her face, before it was replaced by her usual warm smile. "Thank you, Aiden. That means a lot to me," She turned away then, not wanting him to see the tears that had escaped her control. "I have to go now," she said softly. "Will you come back here tomorrow at this same time?" "Of course, I'll be here." He watched her walk away. Her shoulders slumped, and he couldn't shake off this feeling of foreboding. As the night deepened, his thoughts raced. What exactly was Emily hiding? Why had she waited so long to tell him? Was it something he should have known all along? Unable to sleep, he tossed and turned in bed, his mind replaying every moment he'd spent with Emily. Had there been any hint of her sadness? Any clue to the pain she was hiding? But all that came to mind were her jokes, her infectious laughter, and the way she looked at him with such love and trust. The next day, Aiden woke up early, determined to put aside his worries for Emily's sake. After all, it was her birthday. He wanted her to have the best day possible. As he got ready, he tried to convince himself that whatever Emily was hiding could not possibly be that bad. He recalled their first date, how they had met, how their love had blossomed. It seemed almost impossible that anything could come between them now. He arrived at the old building just as the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Yet there was no sign of Emily. Minutes ticked by, then turned into an hour, and still she didn't arrive. A sense of unease settled over him. Where could she be? Had something happened? Had she changed her mind about telling him? With each passing moment, his worry grew. Then he heard a soft voice behind him. "Aiden." He turned around to see Emily standing there, her eyes red and swollen, her hair a mess. "Why didn't you come to me?" she whispered, rushing towards him. Before he could respond, she broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. He wrapped her in a tight hug, trying to soothe her. When she pulled away, he cupped her face in his hands, his thumbs gently wiping away her tears. "Tell me what's wrong," he murmured, his voice thick with concern. "Why didn't you tell me any of this before?" she asked, her voice hoarse with crying. Then she took a deep breath, trying to compose herself. "I'm sorry, Aiden. I really am. But there are some things you need to know about me, things I haven't been honest about." Aiden held her gaze, his eyes filled with love and understanding. "I'm here listening," he said softly. "Whatever you want to tell me, I promise I won't be upset." Her lips trembled as though she wanted to speak, but no words came out. Instead, she closed her eyes, trying to gather her thoughts. Finally, she began to speak in a low, shaky voice. "You deserve to know the truth about me. Not because you have to, but because you deserve it. You deserve to know who you're in love with." The next day, Aiden arrived at their usual meeting spot, a small wrapped gift in his hands. But Emily never showed up. A strange feeling of foreboding washed over him. Where was she? Had she forgotten their date? No, that didn't make sense. Emily was always so punctual. Just as he was about to leave, a car stopped nearby. It was an old model, a bit rusty. Aiden watched as an older man stepped out of the car and walked slowly towards him. "Are you Aiden? The one who's been close to Emily?" His voice was gentle, yet it carried a hint of sadness. Confused, Aiden nodded. The man's eyes, a deep ocean blue filled with tears. "I am Emily's father," he said, his voice cracking. "And I have to tell you something that will break your heart. Emily is gone. She's been gone for 5 years. Aiden's heart froze. "What are you talking about? I was with her just yesterday," he managed to say, his voice betraying his shock. The man's face crumpled, and Aiden saw the pain etched into his features, the lines of worry and the shadows under his eyes, all telling a story of sorrow. 5 years ago, Emily died in a terrible accident. Her car plunged from a bridge into the river. We never found her body. Aiden's breath hitched, and he felt as though the air in his lungs had turned to ice. No, that's impossible. I've spoken to her, laughed with her, shared dreams with her," he whispered, his mind refusing to accept the truth. The man reached out, his hand trembling, and pulled out a worn diary from his pocket. It was small, the kind that fit into the crook of one's arm, its leather cover soft and supple despite the years. He placed it into Aiden's trembling hands, his touch gentle. "This is the only thing we recovered from her belongings. Look inside." Aiden opened it slowly. The first page was blank, but as he turned to the next, his heart skipped a beat. The diary contained only one entry, and it was written in Emily's beautiful looping handwriting. The words hit him like a tidal wave, each stroke a hammer blow to his soul. "I will finish my story with someone who truly listens." And then below it, again and again, the same line repeated until the last page. Tears blurred Aiden's vision, and he felt the dam within him break. Memories of Emily's words echoed in his mind. Some stories are meant to be told only at the right time. It was a line she had uttered during one of their late-night talks, a cryptic statement that had puzzled him then, but now resonated with a painful clarity. He looked up, his eyes meeting the old man's, now filled with understanding. In that moment, he realized Emily hadn't abandoned him. Her spirit had stayed behind, tethered to this world, waiting for the right time to reveal her story. A story that was more than just a tale of love and loss. It was a testament to the enduring power of connection, a bond that death itself seemed unable to sever. As the finality of the situation settled upon him, a fierce determination ignited within Aiden. He stood tall, wiping away his tears and clutching the diary to his chest. The leather was warm beneath his touch, as if Emily's essence flowed through it, connecting their hearts across the chasm of time. "Emily," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion, "you may be gone, but your story is alive in me, and I will carry it until my last breath." The old man nodded, tears streaming down his face. "Thank you, Aiden," he said, his voice hoarse with emotion. "You gave our Emily peace. Now she can finally rest." With that, he turned and walked back to his car, leaving Aiden standing there, enveloped by the weight of Emily's story. The diary, now more than just a book, became a sacred trust, a legacy of love that Aiden vowed to honor. In the days that followed, Aiden found solace in the ritual of reading Emily's diary. Each page was a treasure trove of memories, her hopes, her dreams, her fears, and most importantly, her love for him. He carried her story in his heart, letting her words guide him through the labyrinth of grief, whispering her name into the wind, promising her that her story, their story, would live on.